Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Catherine Jenkins, Marketing and Communications Manager for Visit Central Delaware in Kent County, Delaware, is our guest today. Catherine, it's a pleasure to meet you. So excited to learn more about Central Delaware. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about everything we got going on.
Fantastic. And I love these kinds of episodes because a joke, I think it's an inside joke, because I'm always looking for my next place to live.
Mm.
And I mean, in the whole area, I mean, Delaware, it's not a big state, it's a small state,
Right.
but easy to get around. But there's just so much to see and do there, especially the history and the outdoors. I love it. And really excited to learn more about you and Central Delaware. So, first off, what makes Central Delaware such a unique destination?
Well, like you said, Delaware is very small. So, representing central Delaware, we are the center county out of only three in the whole state. So, we're small but mighty. I think probably one of the most unique things about us is how many events we host in just this little area and how many people come for these events. I mean, we've had over 50,000 visitors at one time for one event. We were home to Firefly Music Festival for 10 years. Sad to see it go, but there's other things happening in that same footprint. So, yeah, I'd say we're really event based. There's not a single weekend or weekday that something isn't going on here. So, I think that's really awesome because there's always something to do.
Excellent. Now, I do want to talk about the events, but first, who is the target demographic, the folks that are coming in to the state and wanting to attend some of these events?
Yeah, I mean, typically we do have an older demographic that visits here. That's usually due to being such a historic destination. We have the capital, Dover, where we say it's where America started because it kind of is. So we get a lot of people for that. We also get a lot of people that like to go birding because we are right on the Atlantic Flyway, which is a migratory path. And we have a beautiful outdoor destination, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge. So we get a lot of people coming through every year to see maybe a bird they had on their bucket list that they've never been able to see. We also have two casinos just in our county. So we get a lot of draw from that too. But as far as the visitors that go to these events, I think that's kind of different than our typical visitor. So, like our big events, we have like the NASCAR race every year at Dover Speedway. That brings in a different demographic than the typical historic traveler. So, we really get a wide range. We also have Delaware State University here. We have Dover Air Force Base. So, there's really just a modge podge of people that live here and visit.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a couple of the events, the NASCAR race. I didn't know that. I knew the Dover Air Force Base was there. It's
Mhm.
very significant, and you also have a, a a president of the United States that you can attribute to being a resident. So that's always pretty cool. What are some of the other events and that are going to appeal to different demographics, age, gender wise, but also their interest? And you mentioned birding, by the way, and I'm not a birder per se, but I do have my app and I love taking
Mhm.
photos of birds. So when I'm out and about, but what are some of the other events that you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely like one of the biggest ones are the NASCAR races. They used to happen here every late April, but we just learned for 2025 the dates are now in July. So that's
Hmm.
exciting. We're hoping no rain. That's a big one. We also used to have Firefly Music Festival for the last 10 years. That was one of our biggest events. So I was sad to see it go. However, this last year we had a fish festival in that same footprint in the woodlands. That brought about 45,000 people and that was typically an older demographic. Fish kind of has a fan base similar to like Grateful Dead kind of thing. So there were a lot of people there for that. We also have the Amish Country Bike Tour in September, which brings a lot of people in. And what's unique about Delaware in general is we're such a flat state. So when people come for the Amish Country Bike Tour, it's nice that you can do the 100-mile route or the 50-mile route, but you're not going up a lot of hills. It's not extremely strenuous. It's kind of just a beautiful ride. It's not a race. It's just to go through. We have Amish landscapes. So that's a really fun event. We always have an Oktoberfest in October, which is cool, right in downtown Dover. We also have one of the biggest ones for us is Dover Days. It's in May and it celebrates all of Dover's heritage and history. Um, we get a lot of historical reenactors out for that. That's when we started as an organization, we used to run that event until we became a destination marketing organization and just started promoting events. So we're still very close to that one. This month we have like Own Fest going on, which is a yoga, arts, and music festival, which is really cool. I know there's
When you
just
started,
so many.
when you said, "Oh, I knew right away, yoga."
Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
that's a really cool one. During the wintertime, we have Gift of Lights at Dover Motor Speedway. So the same footprint, the Woodlands, where Firefly Music Festival used to happen. It's a drive-through light show with some really, really cool displays. So that will be kicking up here. November 28th is the first day you can do that through January. And there's just so much in between. We've had a Caribbean festival here. We've had a Hispanic festival here. Um, it's hard to name them all because there's really so
Okay.
many.
Okay.
But yeah, Delaware State Fair is also a big one in July. That one, we get a lot of really big name acts to come to the concerts. We've had like Lady Wilson, Riley Green, so many cool artists have come here. T-Pain last year, like really exciting stuff. So
Okay.
we're small but mighty.
Very good. I love that, small but mighty. Now, I am curious, when folks are coming to these festivals, are they staying for a bed and breakfast, boutique hotels, chain hotels like in Dover and some of the surrounding communities, or are they driving back home afterwards? I'm curious.
We do get a large portion of people that stay, especially for like the NASCAR races. There's a camping option right in the infield, so a lot of people do that. Same camping for the Fish Festival, so camping is a lot of it. We have a lot of chain hotels that people usually stay in, but because we are so centrally located, we're about an hour and a half from Philadelphia, an hour and 45 minutes from Baltimore. It depends kind of on if they're planning on drinking, I hope they stay, but, if
Okay.
usually we get a lot of campers for the events
Okay.
is when they usually stay.
That sounds like fun. Now, I am curious, with your friends and family, what are your go-to events throughout the year?
Yeah, so I'm actually not from here. I was a visitor turned resident, so,
Okay.
my family is back in Maryland, about 2 hours from here, but I always try to get them to come to, it's called Smyrna at Night. It is actually the largest free outdoor concert in, Delaware. So that one's really fun this past year. It usually happens around June or July, but last year they had Smash Mouth perform, and it's
Mm.
a free concert, so we can't beat that. That was really cool. I had them come for that one. Oktoberfest is another one of my favorites because usually there's 2 or 3 Oktoberfests going on. So if my
Mhm.
family can't make it to one weekend, like we still got a couple other weekends in October that we could make one. And then the music festivals. I did not attend the Fish Festival this year, but there are plans for more concerts to go there. And I love music and concerts, and I loved Firefly. It was one of my favorite events of all time. So I'm excited to see more things happen there because that footprint is really, really cool.
Okay. You know, as you were describing the events, and I can just see for our listeners, Catherine's eyes were lighting up and
Mhm.
there's a smile across her face. And I imagined coming into this organization, and you said small but mighty for Delaware, but I imagine small but mighty for Visit Central Delaware. How big is the team that's helping you run these events?
Yeah, so we're a full-time staff of 3, and
Okay.
then we have 1 part-timer. She's our group sales manager. She travels to trade shows and gets groups to come.
Okay.
But yeah, we mainly just are sponsors of events or will promote them. We
Okay.
don't get involved on like the back end of events
Right.
anymore. That would just be way too much on our
Way too much.
staff of
Okay.
3.
Okay. And I did mean as a sponsor, and because I know it's hard work. I mean, the
Oh yeah, I
organization
could.
I belong to, when we go to those events, I mean, I know how just that event, how taxing it can be. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, how often do you get to go to tourism events or where you're learning to the latest and greatest when it comes to running organization like Visit Central Delaware?
Yeah, I'm really lucky to have the president of our organization. He understands like how important it is to learn and grow, and it's an ever evolving industry. So I typically go to about 3 or 4 conferences a year. Like Destinations International is a big one. They have a marketing and communication summit that I love. It always happens in February, somewhere different. I went to ESTO this past year, which was my first year attending. So that was really cool. And then the other big one that I'm heavily involved with is called MAPRA, Mid-Atlantic Tourism and Public Relations Alliance, which I realize is a mouthful, but that I'm actually the secretary on the board of directors for that organization, and we're made up of the Mid-Atlantic states, all the DMOs there. We meet quarterly, so 4 times a year, we'll host in a different destination. We just got to host this last meeting, October 18th in Central Delaware. So that was really exciting because some members that were new had never been to Delaware, so we got to host them for a meeting. We have a professional development session, um, and every year there's a media marketplace.
Mhm.
And that's like, oh, it's my favorite event ever. I get to set up a table, and for 2 hours, there's all these journalists and now content creators that are invited, and they go to each table, learn about our destinations, and hopefully we get to host them in our destinations.
Okay.
So that's a really cool networking event. I've met a lot of people through that.
Okay. Now this is a test question. At the media marketplace, are there podcasters?
There has been some radio podcasts who kind of do
Okay.
all sorts of different things.
Okay.
But they definitely be able to apply, in
Okay.
the next, marketplace is gonna be in Reading, Pennsylvania, so
Okay.
they're gonna open applications for that very soon, and
Uh,
podcasters are welcome.
Very good. Well, to my fellow outdoor adventure podcasters, hint, hint, you just heard it from Catherine here today. Now, I do want to visit your website and thank you for, and I know there's reasons why it's near and dear to your heart, but
Mhm.
before we do that, thinking about yourself and in this career that you've chosen to be a part of the marketing communications for Visit Central Delaware, what's been your aha moment as you kind of look back and like, wow, I get to do all this?
Yeah, it's hard to say because I did kind of fall into tourism. I honestly never knew it was an option of a career path. Had I known
Mhm.
that, I probably would have been pursuing it in college from day one. My focus in college was mainly public relations and my minor
Mhm.
was marketing. But unfortunately, I graduated May 2020. So
Mm,
he was looking for a PR rep at that time, not really
right.
anybody. So I started my career in marketing off actually at one of the casinos we have here. I was a marketing specialist there for almost 2 years. And when I saw this opportunity come up, the job description, it was just like, this is everything I've always wanted to do. Like, let's just see what happens. And I got it and fell into it and realized like, wow, like this is the career for me. I love travel. I love attractions. I love experiencing new things. And I love the area that I ended up in. I never pictured myself in Delaware. It just kind of happened after college. The closest place I could find living was here in Delaware. And I fell in love with it. And my aha moment was it does not feel like work. When I go to work, it doesn't feel like it because I love it. So that's really awesome.
I have to say, a consistent theme that I hear from others who are in the destination marketing space, it doesn't feel like a job because it's so much fun. So I have
It
to
really
say that.
is. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'm blessed. I know that's not the case for everybody, so I feel
okay.
very blessed.
Very good. Now, I'd love to, if we could, take a tour through your website, but I have a little caveat for it. Kind of let's cover two birds with one stone. Is imagine there's a family,
Mhm.
perhaps maybe a senior couple, but they're coming to Delaware for for just to do some touring around with their kids and their grandkids. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to look for history, destination, heads in beds and restaurants, and maybe the adults want to go out for an adult beverage later. So maybe kind of call out some of those attractions and places to explore. Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
excellent. So with the magic of the internet, I am going to share my screen and going to go to there. All right, so now we should be seeing. Let me open this wide open. So we are seeing your wonderful website here. Today it's going to be 66 degrees today.
Mm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, weird for
Uh,
November, but yeah.
yeah, is it warm right? Is this warm for November?
Oh, yes, like very warm. It was like 78 degrees yesterday.
Oh
Very
my.
strange.
We are like 66 degrees today here in Las Vegas. So I'm like, that's why I have a sweater on because I'm
Yeah.
freezing. Okay. So tell us about the website. Take us for a tour.
Yeah, awesome. So right here you're looking at our home screen. Now, if we're looking at kind of an itinerary for family that cover the kids, the grandparents, the parents, I do have some itineraries on there already. If you click those three little dot or dashes next to contact us,
Okay.
there's a trip ideas and itineraries page. And
Okay.
if you click on that,
Okay. Uh, I
yeah,
can follow directions. That's good.
there. So it's actually really cool. I got this idea from Clearwater, Florida, I believe, but there's a button right there that says print your own itinerary.
Hmm.
And when you click on it, it brings you to a blank page that you get to fill in, and you could put what time you get there,
Oh, wow.
what activities you're planning on doing, things like that. And then further on in the website under the staff page, we each filled out our own personal itinerary of things we like to do. So you can go and find mine. You can find my bosses, my coworkers.
Okay.
Um,
So where am I going to go? Oh, be about us and meet the staff.
yep.
Okay.
And then if you scroll down, it should be our names with underneath. Yep.
And there you are.
There are our itineraries. You can look at each of us and see
Okay.
what we like to do. And it's cool because we are different age groups. So you get to see kind of each
Sure.
demographic of what we
Okay.
like to do.
Well, let's check out your itinerary.
Yeah.
See if it fits the demographic that I've kind of selected for us coming in here. Okay. So what are we seeing?
All right. So we're looking at my favorite events, which it looks like I have to update that because race weekend is no longer in April. It will be in July. But
All right.
yeah, so my favorite events are NASCAR weekend. It's so much fun. And then there's always a food truck competition in April at
Oh,
Harvest Ridge Winery. I
okay.
love that. I love food
Yeah.
trucks. You get to go around taste each one. It's really cool. Delaware State Fair in July. I love that. And then Hippie Fest in August. That's another really cool one. You get to dress up and they have music and it's like 1960s, 1970s hippie vibe. So that's
Hmm.
always a really cool event every year. Then I have my favorite activities. I love bringing my dog to the beach, which we
Hmm.
can do because we have bay beaches. So all year round, you're allowed to
What
bring your dog.
what kind of dog, by the way?
He is a toy Australian Shepherd.
Toy Australian. So very smart and likes to herd people.
The most insane, uh, animal I've ever experienced. I love going hiking at Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge. That's where everyone comes to go birding, but there's a lot of other wildlife you can see there, like foxes, and it's just really beautiful all year round. There's different animals you can see, and I'm a big animal person, if you can't tell by now, so I love doing that. And then I love doing music bingo and trivia, and we have both of those events going on at so many places all over Central Delaware all week long. So there's always
Mhm.
somewhere I can play music bingo or trivia,
Okay.
which is awesome. And then my favorite eats and drinks. 1857 Jackson House was my absolute favorite. They just recently moved locations a little bit north, so they're not technically in Kent County anymore, but definitely a good stop to make on your way in or out. Also, we just got a crumble cookie, which I love. I should not get them as much as I do.
Just wait. Just as you get older, you're gonna. Yeah, you gotta kind of
And
start
yeah,
cutting
I'm
back
gonna
now.
have to start slowing down on the cookies. They're like 1,000 calories each.
Yeah.
And then Rail House, I love. It's kind of new to downtown Dover. It just opened around last year. It's a beer garden and it's also dog friendly, so I can bring my
Mhm.
dog there. They have a huge outdoor space. It's veteran owned. They're very community focused. They have run club, book club, They just do so many different events all the time, and I love having them here. And then the Cured Plate Libations and Lounge, that is also probably my top favorite spot, to
Hmm.
go. It's really cool. It's like 1920s speakeasy themed. It's like a
Wow.
small footprint when you go inside. It's a little bit dark. But you call to make a reservation. They give you your passcode, and you have to say that code in order to get in.
Right.
It's a build your own charcuterie. They have amazing cocktails, and it's just a really, really cool, like, experience dining kind of place, and their food is really good too. So that's
Very
one of my
good.
favorite spots.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, and then just the last thing on my itinerary here, we just did some fun facts about us. I had that oh, there it is. I have a toy Australian Shepherd named Finnegan. I was a visitor turned resident to Central Delaware in 2020, and I love to solo travel.
Wow. This is a great idea. I could actually see this type of planner for maybe you have a contest once a year with send us your itinerary that you
Yeah.
the events, activities, drinks, fun facts, and you get a whoever wins gets a free Visit Central Delaware t-shirt or some other type of
Yeah.
merch. I love that.
I
So,
love that idea. Yeah, and I would love to take credit for this itinerary thing, but I believe I saw on Clearwater, Florida's page. I did a lot of research when we were redoing our website. I looked at so many different DMO sites. I saw what I liked, what I didn't like, and that's what was
okay.
really exciting about having my role here as the one and only marketing person. I got to really decide what I wanted it to look like and how I wanted it to function. So
Mhm.
that was really exciting.
Very good. And I love the colors, the visuals, the icons. It's not your typical, here's a link, here's a drop down, and you're lucky
Yeah. Thank
you can
you.
find things. It's very well organized. And so you also have ties to economic development here. You've got the media that which you're sharing later and story ideas in the gallery. I love it. Come on,
Yeah.
gallery.
Thank you. Yeah,
There
we
we go.
tried
It's
to
coming.
simplify our new site. Our old one, it was there were so many links that took you here and there and elsewhere, and it was just so
Right.
hard for the visitor to find the actual information they were looking for. So we really
Uh-huh.
wanted to simplify this and make it as easy as possible to find what you're looking for here.
I love it. And just curious, how long did it take you from it being a grand idea to like it's live? How long did it take?
Ooh, well, the rebrand process itself. So we used to be called Delaware's Quaint Villages. So rebranding to Visit Central Delaware, we tied the website in with that. That whole process took about a year and a half. The website itself probably took about 8 months, but we were ahead of schedule because I was able to write all of the content for it. We didn't need our website agency that we work with, WebFX.
Hmm.
Could not recommend them enough. They were awesome.
Okay.
Our timeline was able to move up because I was able to supply everything that would be on the site instead
Hmm.
of having them write it and then going back and forth and changing all that. So we were able to do it a little quicker than usual, which is nice. But yeah, the whole process took about a year.
Very nice. And I have in lots of respect for you also for having to test and make sure all these links work because that's no
Thank you.
small feat as well. Very nice. It's a very nice website. I love there's your three counties. There's Dover, Smyrna, Harrington, Milford. Very nice. And some nice water. I love this. Very nice site. Congratulations. I mean,
Thank you so
it's
much. That means a
I
lot. Thank
enjoyed
you.
checking it out as I was preparing for today's show. I'm going to stop sharing now. And let me just get back to something else. Okay. So as you're getting really comfortable in your role, and just the changes that have taken place, and you've got more and more events taking place, restaurants coming on the scene, places to stay, and just more outdoor activities. Um, when somebody comes to you and says, why why Delaware? Why would I want to visit? What would you say to them?
I would say because there's something for everyone and it's more of a slow paced destination. It's more for those people that they want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. They don't want to have to deal with parking issues, waiting forever to get in somewhere. It's very small and slow paced, but that's what I love about it. And I think what our visitors enjoy when they come. a lot of our museums and attractions are free, which
Right.
is affordable travel is everything these days, and I think we're
Right.
a very affordable destination, not to mention being tax-free on all shopping, which is nice.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, that's a
Very good.
very big draw for us as well. So, yeah,
Okay.
just I think people like that they can come here to slow down from the everyday life. They can take a leisurely hike. It's not gonna be anything crazy because 'cause we're so flat, so you don't have
Mhm.
to it's not strenuous, and because we are so flat, you can see so much more of our beautiful outdoors, which is awesome. I'm only from Maryland, a state away, but I never realized how much of the sky and landscape you can really see in a state this flat.
Okay. Very
Um,
good. Okay.
yeah,
So before we head out, is you've been with the Visit Central Delaware for a little while now. I mean, 2020 life changed for us, and now you fell into this role. What what insight would you like to share with our listeners about again why visit Central Delaware, and what is it about the experience that you would like to leave our listeners with?
yeah, I would say, like, it's been a theme throughout. We're small but mighty. The really cool thing about Delaware is if you're looking for something, if you're trying to find someone, you are always going to be able to find someone who knows someone who could get that answer for you. I mean, I run into the mayor of Dover at Wawa. Like, it's
Good
you are
coffee at Wawa,
very
by the way.
you are very involved. Like, the residents are so welcoming and friendly. You will feel like you belong here when you come. And I hope you those listening do get the chance to come and feel that because there's an event every weekend. Even every weekday, I would argue there's something going on. There's historic destinations, there's ways to learn more about our rich history,
Mhm.
outdoor adventures. I mean, there's something for every single person here, and I just hope they come and get that chance.
Sounds good. Well, we certainly hope they do. And actually, a very important question. You kind of alluded to it when you said Wawa. Well, for me, you alluded to it. I'm a very big coffee fanatic. I love my coffee. I also love farmers markets. If I come visit, am I going to find some farmers markets and a must go to visit uh, for a really good cup of coffee?
Absolutely. We have farmers markets. I think we have about 4 that run mostly through the summer season, but then we have one that runs all year round. We have a lot of farmers markets, which is awesome, and there's one at every corner, so no matter where you stay in Central Delaware, there's gonna be a farmers market within 10 minutes of you, which is
Okay,
awesome. Same for coffee. We do have 2 really local good coffee places that are in different towns. So we have House of Coffee in downtown Dover, really good, and then Dolce, which is in downtown Milford, and they have a few locations of that one, and both have really good, like, baked goods and specials through the season. You could find seasonal things or just a regular cup of joe, but it's gonna be good.
excellent. So those are very two must-haves in my life, and I think I can officially add it. Dover and visit Central Delaware or the state as a. I think I could live there because that's
Yeah.
always going
Yeah.
through the back of my mind when I'm having these interviews. Could I live there? Yes, I think I could. Now, before we head out, I know we just shared this your wonderful website, but if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work and visit Central Delaware, where's the best places to go?
Yeah, so definitely, visit centraldelaware.com. There's contact forms on there, plenty of ways to get in touch with us. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Visit Central DE.
Excellent. And we will again provide those backlinks in our show notes. Catherine, it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, which I'm sure it's busy, but it sounds like you're doing some wonderful things and just activities, places to stay, itineraries. You've got it all going in Visit Central Delaware. And I'm sure our listeners are going to be enjoying this episode and hopefully making some plans to visit from wherever they are. So thank you again for spending time with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to hear from anyone who wants to visit. I will be your tour guide. Anything you need, we're here for you.
Excellent. Listen, stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close and then we can have a final chat. Okay.
All right.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode today with Catherine Jenkins. She is the Marketing and Communications Manager for Visit Central Delaware. Do go out to their website at visitcentraldelaware.com, and they also have their Facebook and Instagram pages. Again, we're going to provide some backlinks to it. Catherine's also going to share with us some photos. We'll have those up on the show notes. And actually on our YouTube channel, we'll actually have this recorded video, which includes, with the miracle of technology, being able to share the website as Catherine kind of helped navigate us through the various pages. And we also got to see, which I thought was pretty cool, her suggested itinerary. So what a wonderful way to develop that experience for visitors to the website. And again, I hope you will want to take advantage of Visit Central Delaware. Now, as for us, you can find us on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn, the Outdoor Adventure Series pages, as well as Instagram. And we have our YouTube page as well, where you will see the entire video of this episode. Now, you can also find us on the leading podcast directories. If you visit our website, we have links to them there. So, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day, and we look forward to sharing another destination marketing organization with you and our other episodes here on the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care now.